Welcome to today's video, where we will explore an intriguing question. Why did Microsoft submerge a data center? Join us as we explore the benefits of underwater data centers and Microsoft's commitment to sustainability. For a while now, cloud computing has been a trendy term used to describe the process of handling software, data storage, and processing on a remote server instead of a local device. In a bold experiment, the tech giant retrieved its Northern Isles, a 12.2-meter-long steel cylinder, from the seabed after 2 years of data collection. The Orkney Isles archipelago, where the experiment took place, relies solely on renewable sources like wind and solar, making it a perfect location for this green initiative. The engineers will now scrutinize the data to extract meaningful insights that could contribute to the future of clean energy. When you think of cloud computing, you probably picture a data center on land. However, Microsoft has an alternative idea involving the use of underwater data centers. By placing these data centers near the coast, they could be closer to population centers, reducing latency and increasing connectivity. Additionally, renewable energy sources such as tidal power and offshore wind farms could power these centers. Microsoft estimates that these centers could be set up in just 90 days using mass-produced watertight pods compared to the 18 months to 2 years needed for land-based centers. However, there are challenges to overcome, such as ensuring reliable connectivity and maintenance of the equipment. Despite this, the benefits of underwater data centers could be too great to ignore. Given that nearly half of the world's population lives within 100 kilometers of a coastline. So while cloud computing may have once been confined to land, the possibilities are expanding, and the future of computing may just be below the surface of the water. Land-based data centers face many challenges from the surrounding environment, such as humidity, temperature fluctuations, and the constant traffic of cleaning and maintenance teams. These issues can lead to corrosion, high energy cost, and even equipment failure. To combat these problems, Microsoft is considering a solution that seems counterintuitive: sinking data centers underwater. By submerging the facility in airtight waterproof containers, the equipment is shielded from these environmental factors. The seawater naturally keeps the temperature consistently cool, reducing the amount of energy required to cool the computers. The potential for these underwater data centers is significant, particularly given that almost half of the world's population lives within 100 kilometers of a shoreline. Data centers on land also require a significant amount of energy to keep electronics cool. Older data centers rely on mechanical cooling, essentially heavy-duty air conditioning, which can use almost as much power as the servers themselves. Newer centers use free air cooling, which depends on outside air and evaporated water to reduce energy use, but they are at the mercy of ambient air temperatures and the water supply. An underwater data center can use nearby seawater for cooling, and if it's deep enough, the water will remain consistently cool year-round, even in tropical regions. Microsoft even envisions powering these centers with 100% renewable energy. By harnessing the motion of the waves or flow of the water as the tide moves in and out, servers could be freed from reliance on the grid that might fail. Tidal energy, in particular, could be the most reliable source of energy, as what is more predictable than the tide? With all these benefits in mind, Microsoft launched Project Natick in 2014. By August 2015, they built a prototype pod with server racks inside and submerged it off the coast of California. The experiment ran for 105 days, and the servers remained cool, just like those in mechanically cooled data centers, while using only 3% of the pod's total energy consumption. Satisfied with the first test, Microsoft built a full-sized pod that is as big as a shipping container and submerged it in June of 2018. They chose a location near the Orkney Islands of North Scotland, home to the European Marine Energy Centre, to conduct further tests. Experts believe. Experts believe that with the shift to cloud-based computing, having multiple smaller data centers distributed among populations is more beneficial in terms of energy consumption and providing stable access to customers. While there will still be a need for land-based data centers, this approach will become less common as the trend towards smaller, more dispersed centers continues. The offshore Submerged data center project plans to power its vessels with wind farms. The project's partnership with wind farms is possibly due to the uninterrupted winds at sea, previously deemed unreliable. This pairing is ideal for the project. Along with fiber optic cables which are needed for data transfer, a backup source can be provided through an entwined power line. In 2014, Microsoft's Thinkweek event gave birth to the idea of underwater data centers. French shipbuilder Naval constructed the cylinder, which was then filled with servers and shipped to Scotland, where it was connected to the European Marine Energy Center's underwater cables and submerged in June of 2018. It took a day of negotiating and waiting for calm waters to sink the unit, which had a diameter of 2.8 meters and housed 864 servers with a combined storage capacity of 27.6 petabytes. After more than 2 years underwater, the data center was retrieved with a quick wash, revealing surprisingly clean bodywork. This project was a multinational effort that required precise communication and coordination. While underwater data centers may not be the norm for now, the experiment proved that it is possible to store massive amounts of data below sea level while using natural resources to power and cool the equipment. The project's success opens the door to more innovation in the field of sustainable technology and could lead to the development of more underwater data centers in the future. The latest experiment from Microsoft has sent shockwaves through the world of computer engineering. By housing a data center in the depths of the ocean, the team found that they could increase reliability by a staggering 8 times. The researchers remain unsure of why this is the case, but they have a few theories. One suggestion is that filling the center with dry nitrogen instead of the corrosive oxygen found in the air on land could be the secret of their success. Although there were a few failed servers, the underwater data centers required no maintenance during testing, which is a stark contrast to their land-based counterparts. These oceanic giants are built to last half a decade before resurfacing for a full checkup. The idea of exploiting the ocean's untouched environment may raise concerns among some citizens. However, the truth is that these data centers would only occupy less than 1% of the seafloor, even if built in the thousands. While the results of Project Natick are still being researched, one thing is clear: the potential benefits of underwater data centers are enormous. It is not difficult to imagine a future where entire cities are powered by these efficient, reliable, and eco-friendly hubs of technology. As with any new technology, concerns about the potential impact of underwater data centers on the environment have been raised. One question on many people's minds is whether the heat generated from these centers could affect the temperature of the surrounding water. While it's true that traditional data centers require powerful cooling systems to disperse the heat they produce, the cool waters of the ocean provide a natural solution. According to Microsoft, the effect on the surrounding water is negligible, measuring only a fraction of a degree a few meters downstream. In fact, Microsoft believes that sinking these structures on the seafloor could have a positive impact on the environment. Fish and other aquatic life are drawn to solid structures, especially ones with nooks and crannies. Shipwrecks, for example, have become havens for ocean life. And the data center in the North Sea has already attracted soft sea life, with other sea creatures likely to have interacted with it during its time on the seafloor. Not only are underwater data centers more reliable and efficient, but they could also have a positive impact on the marine exploration. Microsoft's underwater data center is being tested for its logistical, environmental, and economic viability. The plan is to run the pod on the seafloor for years to see if it can withstand the conditions. Maintenance cannot be performed if something breaks, but Microsoft sees this as a benefit since no human interference means there's a lower risk of causing further damage. Additionally, the lack of humans allows Microsoft to remove moisture and fill the pod with nitrogen to prevent connector corrosion. It's an innovative approach that could change the way we think about data centers and their maintenance. As Microsoft continues to analyze the success of their underwater data center project, efforts are already underway to restore the seafloor to its original state. Additionally, all components of the data center, including the steel pressured vessel, heat exchangers, and servers, are being recycled for their materials or repurposed for other areas of the company's operation. It's a commitment to sustainability that sets an example for the tech industry. What other industries could benefit from underwater infrastructure like Microsoft's data center? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, a big thank you to you for watching. Make sure to stay safe and stay tuned for more exciting Tech Brilliance TV.